So, the Samsung Odyssey Plus is a Windows mixed reality device. I know Lenovo made the Explorer, there was an HP version, Acer version, Dell version, but this is just, to set up an Oculus or Vive is going to be different. But Samsung is going to work the same way as any other Windows mixed reality device. So as soon as you plug it in, this pops up. We need to put 2 gigabytes of software on your computer, and you must agree to Microsoft's blah blah blah. If you're using Windows 10, you've probably already agreed to that. So I agree. Checks your computer. Everything on the right here are check marks. There aren't any more X's. It did give me one before because I plugged it into a USB 2.0 port and it wanted a 3.0, so it's kind of picky about that. Okay, next. This just gives you an overview of where everything's at, like I had already done. So now it says connected. Latest version of the firmware is already on the device. So, click next. Now it's going to try to do the controllers, try to set them up. So it's going to try to set up the controllers, and it's going to get to a screen like this and tell you, it didn't work. That's just because it took me too long to go turn them on. So I'll say try again. To turn them on, you just hold down the Windows button for a couple seconds and it lights up like that. Do it with the other one. So now that they're both on, I'm going to go ahead and click try again. And hopefully this time it'll just pop up down over here. And there we go. So it just connects automatically. So I'm going to put the controllers down up there and click next. Oh, and it tells you right here, Windows button, turn on off, by the way. Get to know your controller. See, that's called a touchpad. That thing's cool. Next. Do I want HMD Odyssey home? I kind of do, so I'm going to click that. Hey, I own this app. Install. You just exit out. You don't have to sign in, by the way. You could just exit out and it'll say, okay, I'll download and install it for you. Go here. But we don't want to launch it yet. So I'm going to exit out of here and click next on this screen. So choose a setup. So seated and standing is if you're going to be doing it at, well, like what it shows, a desk or a table, or if you're just sitting in a chair in the middle of your garage. If you're not going to be walking around, this is the one that's fine. You don't have to create a boundary or anything like that. But I'm going to want to do the one where I walk around. And it's like the full-on experience. I mean, you could do seated and standing too, and you can actually switch between them later. But I'm going to set mine up for the full experience. Okay, so first you have to clear an area that's 5 by 7 feet. So that's going to take me a couple minutes. Okay, so that took quite some time. So it says to point your headset, to center it, hold it in front of you, and point it towards the computer. I'm going to point it towards the screen. And then you're going to click the button over there that says center. Let me see if I'm even on screen. Yeah, okay. It's right here in the middle because it's probably not going to focus. Well, you click center. So I'll just read everything since you won't be able to read it. It says, so now we're ready to trace your boundary. For best results, you'll need about 5 by 7 feet. The more the better. Stand up and point your headset towards your computer. Then I'm going to click that trace button. As I walk around the perimeter of my space, I keep this here pointed at this. So you don't go like this. You have to just go like that, all around the little space that you want. And it will draw. You'll see on here there's going to be a little monitor looking icon. As you move around the room, and keep it tilted that way, it's going to trace out like a little square because my area is pretty square. So it'll show you your path. You just have to make it all the way around back to your starting point. So click trace. And it's not working right. So I'm going to go like this and click start over. Center, trace. Okay. I'm just holding it, you know, about the middle of my chest as I walk. So I'm going to go right about here because I don't want to walk into the camera later. See, chest height, but you don't have to like hold it and move. You could do it like this. And then it will be right back to the start. It says, nice work, here's your boundary. If the boundary looks good, hit accept. For me, that looks pretty good. It's not a perfect square, but... So I would like to know more about stuff. So you do this here, and if you want them to email you a bunch of things. So I'm going to click skip. See, stay in the know, skip. Use speech in mixed reality. Now, I have issues with Microsoft and privacy, and yeah, I don't use Cortana. So I'm gonna not use speech. If you do use Cortana and you actually find it useful, sure, while you're playing a game, you can just be like, hey Cortana, order me a cheeseburger, or whatever Cortana does. Don't use speech. I'm gonna go with that. If you want it to work, click the other one. Okay. Grab your controllers and put on your headset. Okay. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So if I remember correctly, once I put it on, it should show me on there what I'm seeing on here. Okay, so it's actually going to complain, says we don't recognize this space on your PC. Go to Start, Mixed Reality Portal, and set up room boundary, something we just did. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and put on the headset, and then as you can see on the screen there, it says we don't recognize this space to set up the room boundary again. So that's annoying, but fine, I'll do it again. You go up here to that icon, click that, all the way at the bottom, set up room boundary. So give me a second to do that. Okay, so after redoing the room boundaries, I put on the headset. Adjust your headset. You should be hearing some audio, and I do. The floor looks off, move it with the touchpad. I'm also going to need these controllers though, so. There we go. I mean, it looks, yeah, because then I'm like straight up. Oh no, okay. I guess it's okay. Well, we'll see if I walk into stuff. So then you turn on, you can just test things here. It says hi there. I forgot what I was supposed to do with this again. Oh. See, so it'll tell you to go around and make sure this room boundary is okay. So you just kind of test it. Ah, that's right, the tripod's now in the middle of the room, so I can't move over there. See? So when you walk, you can see the ripples. Now, usually I leave myself a little bit of leeway, but... So what does it want me to rotate? Oh, just the view. So as you can see, everything is set up and working pretty much properly. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to something else in a second. Okay, that's what I'm hitting. We have to do them together, I guess. So you hit the Windows button, and it goes back to this. Okay, so this is going to be a separate video. So thank you for watching, and I hope you stay tuned because there's a lot more to come here, a lot more to show you. Let me try to